Second of 3 straight home games for the Rangers this week. And there is Marty Turco, I should say second of 2 because the Rangers will be on the road Thursday night. Marty Turco has played every game for the Dallas Stars, 6-4-1 on the season with a 2.25 goals against. And across the way, Jussi Markkanen 0-2-1 in 4 appearances lifetime against the Dallas Stars as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. His second game of the season. And that's Stephen Walcom, who is one of our referees tonight, with Ian Walsh the other. Pierre Racicot and Tim Nowak are the linesmen. And tonight's New York Rangers high-definition broadcast presented by Panasonic, Ideas for Life. Bobby Holik and Mike Modano open up at center, and DeVries took a hit and sent it in. Rangers with Holik, Ruchinski, and Carter. And Holik shoots and a save by Turco. Rebound, another save. Ruchinski getting the rebound. Leach and DeVries paired on defense with Tom Poti out tonight. Back behind the net. Leach tries to keep it in, did not. It was out of the zone, put back in, offside Rangers.
Leach and Poti have never been paired before. Ever, I guess. They weren't.
Leach and DeVries.
Or DeVries, yes, I'm sorry. Leach and DeVries, never before, as Brian Leach missed all of training camp. Rangers have a good first shift. One shot, rebound in front. There you see a second and then a third. And Turco sharp. That was Bobby Holik playing against Mike Modano, a matchup we expect to see. Sam Turco missed part of camp because of a contract squabble. That's one reason I think he's played every game, and he's just lately starting to round his game into the form that we showed, or he showed last season.
Ron Tugnut is the backup. Malakoff and Mironov on defense. Messier, Simon, and Barnaby on for the Rangers. Opposite the line of Jason Arnott, who has played outstanding this season. Brendan Morrow on the left side, number 10, and the red-hot Billy Guerin, number 13, on the right side.
And Morrow is the worker. He is a powerful worker as a winger for Dallas, number 10.
John Erskine and Teppo Numminen on defense. Teppo Numminen, after so many years in the Winnipeg and Phoenix Coyote organization, coming over to the Dallas Stars. Simon fires cross ice for Barnaby. It's by him and the one-time Boston Bruin, the Harvard man, Don Sweeney. Plays it across to Sergei Zubov, the former Ranger, fires it in. And Al from Long Island wants to know about that deal, and we'll get into that. Joel Bouchard paired with Darius Kasparaitis, with Tom Poti out with the flu. Kasparaitis plays it to open ice to Kovalov. Jamie Lundmark centering Kovalov and Hlavich, with Peter Nedved out. Kasparaitis back for the puck. This is an icing on Dallas. And Mike Modano's line back out quickly. Go opposite the Lundmark line. We're a minute 49, minute 48 into the game.
I think
second-year head coach Dave Tippett.
Dave Tippett earlier in the season, a game in Buffalo with his team down early, benched Mike Modano and Sergei Zubov for the rest of the game. Their team came back and lost late. They were still benched. He was trying to make a point that I'm the boss, we're not playing hard enough. And he's going to set those rules early in the season, which he's been very tough on.
Stu Barnes sent it in. Markkanen stopped it and decided to cover up for a face-off. Stu Barnes came over from Buffalo. Rob DeMaio spent a brief time with the Rangers. There's Stu and Rob.
It's interesting here, Sam, is the Rangers have Lundmark on the ice. He's taking a defensive zone draw. Usually it's Messier or Holik taking the majority of the draws. Good win there by Jamie. Coaches will notice that and not be afraid to use him defensively.
The left wing on this line with DeMaio and Barnes is Pierre Turgeon. Kovalov moving in on Don Sweeney, plays it ahead. Hlavich looking, fires, knocked away by Turco. Lundmark gets to it, plays to Hlavich toward the net, blocked in front. Good play by Barnes with Kovalov right in front. DeVries and Brian Leach. DeVries pass into the skates of Hlavich. He plays it into the Dallas zone, and the Rangers change. Stars 3-0-1 in their last 4. They lead the Pacific Division.
Healy with his first shift as a Ranger. He's a right winger, excellent along the boards in his own zone, very good penalty killer, has lots of size.
Wearing number 25, Dominic Moore here in his third game, wearing number 28. Paul Healy, originally a draft pick of the Philadelphia Flyers in 1993, played the last 2 seasons with Toronto. The puck goes over the glass into the crowd, stopping play. Budweiser salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference.
Healy goes 6'2", 207 pounds. Last with the Toronto Maple Leaf organization. He'd been there a couple of seasons, and good depth for the Rangers when these problems arise with injuries. He plays about an hour and a half up the road in Hartford for the Wolfpack. They've had a wonderful beginning to their season.
And should let fans know that Mike Saklenko had a brief stay with the Rangers. He was picked up in the waiver draft, has been put on waivers. No word yet if anyone has claimed him. Puck dumped into the Rangers zone, bounces, and Markkanen played it around to DeVries. Hit by Steve Ott. Rangers try to clear, did not. Dominic Moore gets it out of the zone. Early on, Rangers had that one flurry down in front of Marty Turco and have 4 shots. Dallas only 1. And that was from way outside by Stu Barnes. That backhander went wide. Jason Arnott on. Arnott number 44 with Brendan Morrow number 10.
Good back check by Lacouture, who hadn't been able to get to the bench for a change.
Guerin brings it across. Rangers have Mironov and Malakoff on. Holik was hit. Malakoff has trouble with Arnott, but able to move the puck. 3-on-2 out of the zone. Holik leads Carter. Holik to the net. Carter shot a save by Turco.
Offside.
He's whistled for an offside.
The other thing about Marty Turco, too, and you can watch this during the game, he's a terrific puck handler. He has no fear in his puck handling game. He'll go out of the net. He'll fire the puck all over the place. No fear with that part of his game. There's some good work. And then a real good rush up ice. Carter with some good speed. What had happened there was Lacouture was caught a little bit longer on the ice, and he had to back check with Morrow, and he went right to the net with him and made sure Morrow, there was no chance if the puck came across that he was going to get it.
Zubov's pass went off the stick of Modano. Carter with a lead for Holik. Goes to the net. Hit the outside of the net. The penalty call. Good hard drive to the net by Bobby Holik. Rangers will have a power play as they keep it in the Dallas zone momentarily. Scott Young touches up.
Earlier in this game, and we're only 4.5 minutes in, but the pass work by the Rangers coming out of their zone, springing people, has been sharp. Like that pass by Carter sets this play up, and I don't agree with the call. That was Sweeney putting his stick underneath Holik's stick, underneath it with one hand, and lifted it up. And Holik actually went off balance shooting the puck. I don't agree with the call. Sweeney was upset, and I don't blame him. But the Rangers will take it. They've had their share go the other way too. But what I was getting at is the Rangers and their passing coming out of their zone has really been sharp.
Rangers power play, 4 for their last 15 over the last 3 games after starting the season 0 for 32. Sweeney for hooking at .433. Rangers power play has Kovalov, Leach at the points, Messier, Barnaby, and Simon up front. Messier, pass blocked. Barnaby lost his stick and is limping.
Yeah, a leg injury. He got all tied up with one of the players for Dallas.
He gets to the bench and Anson Carter jumps on. Dallas has Stu Barnes.
Jussi hit the side of the net when he was trying to throw it in behind.
Wow. Mike Modano has come on as a penalty killer. Rangers are offside. And the fans still wooing and eyeing about that play by Markkanen.
Now watch what happens with Barnaby here. Wham, he got hit by Morrow and went down. See, Morrow's a big kid, huh? That was a hard hit. He wasn't expecting this. He went down and was shaken when he got up.
Morrow's not that big, John, but he's solid.
Sam, he's gotten bigger. 210?
Yeah.
5'11", 210. That
solid.
means, yeah.
He's not big as far as height.
No, I agree with that, but 210's a lot of weight in a little with that body that's not 6 feet.
Oh, very solid
He's
guy.
strong.
Mironov lost it, and it's cleared by Modano.
You can't be mixing up the NFL with these guys now. We're not talking about the 310, we're talking 210.
Holik. Ruchinski. Holik lost his stick. Rangers have not been able to set up anything on this power play. Holik, Ruchinski, and Carter with Malakoff and Mironov. Malakoff has trouble with the puck. It was out of the zone. It's put back in. Stars come out with it. And Teppo Numminen clears it down. Leach comes back on with 25 seconds to go on the power play. Jan Alavich on to Brian Leach. Leach deflected off of Matvichuk and is gloved by Turco, and he holds it.
Would force a face-off with only 16 seconds to go on the Sweeney penalty. pass across the ice here. And everybody for the Rangers went to the net right away, just knowing that they respect Turco. He loves to move the puck, so get there and make him hold it and create the faceoff.
Faceoff win by Barnes and a clear by Zubov. Markkanen pushes it to Leach. Final seconds of the power play. Lundmark, Kovalov, and Hlavich lead to Hlavich. Lundmark goes to the net, pass it in the slot, knocked away from DeVries. Power play over. Here comes Modano. Modano across with Barnes. 3-on-1 down low. It's broken up. Brian Leach got the stick on the pass. Lundmark battling Modano. Modano recovers, gets it to Barnes. Leach picks him up. Barnes looking toward the net. It's tipped wide by Antti Miettinen. Miettinen, number 20. Broken up in front by Kovalov and cleared out of the zone. We're 7 minutes into the first period. Scoreless game. Rangers did not get a shot on goal on that power play. And Dallas is offside. 12:49 to go in the first.
We were wondering if anything happened to us.
We want you to take the kids.
Doesn't count. What you need is a will, something you can sign and make official. Start your will at trustandwill.com and make it count.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
I got this $1,000 camera for only $41 on DealDash.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56. I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Drinks filled with sugar and sweeteners have brainwashed you to crave junk. Break Sugar Spell with Hint Water. New customers get over 45% off our top flavors at drinkhint.com. That's 36 bottles for $36. Just $1 a bottle.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and espresso beans and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and a whole lot more.com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com.
We're better together because I can talk about any subject with you.
We laugh so much together.
Are you serious?
They are my sisters. They celebrate my wins with me.
You make me a stronger woman, a stronger friend, and a stronger sister.
That's why we are better together.
That's Hlavich on the puck. He does not see Alexei Kovalov. Neither does DeVries. Kovalov was on the right side. The Rangers were trapped. Here's the result of it. Brian Leach breaking up a 3-on-2. That was the Panasonic digital replay.
Holik and Arnott, former teammates in New Jersey.
We're not really seeing matchups, are we, Sam?
Not here. No, we saw Holik against Modano to start the game.
A couple of times, but not a whole lot. No. Now you see Holik against Arnott, the former teammates in New Jersey.
Either one's tough.
Oh, yeah, they're both good.
Arnott missed it.
Yeah, this may be the hotter line of the two.
Yeah.
You think about Modano. He has not had a great start to his season, even though he's recently been getting better.
Yeah, Modano went 4 games without a point before he had a goal and an assist on Sunday in a 7-2 win over Nashville.
And with Young on Modano's line, he hasn't done much either.
Right.
He's 6 games, I think, without a point.
Arnott backhands it ahead, went off the glove of Bouchard. Morrow gets to it, gets a shot off it, sticked aside by Markkanen. Guerin plays it back to Arnott, picked up there by Kasparaitis. Arnott went down.
Markkanen would like to see a couple of shots. They were almost 8 minutes in, and he hasn't seen anything, and he hasn't played for a long time since game 2 of the season. He's been able to handle the puck and get out of the net a little bit, but I'd say, please, come on, Stars. Throw a couple in at me from the blue line, will you?
Maybe he'll tell his own guys to shoot. Simon off the boards for Barnaby. So Barnaby's back, but it's a 2-line pass whistled against the Rangers. That's good news for the Rangers. Barnaby looked like he had suffered a leg injury.
Yeah, it looked like he
had a problem.
He was flexing his leg or something, but he also, I think he just hit hard, maybe stunned on the play by Morrow. A good clean hit for Mark Messier with another shift with his regular line mates. They've been regular line mates since the start of the season. All three are plus players. They have not had a minus game this season.
Chris Simon leads the Rangers. Is tied for the team lead with Alex Kovalov with 6 points, and Mark Messier leads the team with 4 goals. Newman missed the puck, but Turco recovered, and the Stars able to clear out. Mironov batted the puck down. Barnaby sends in, and Turco out to play it.
And we talk about Darian Hatcher not being a member of the Stars anymore. Remember, Daryl Sador was a long-time defenseman for them. He moved on to Columbus. So those are two real high-minute defensemen that are no longer with this Dallas team, so they've had to make some changes. By the way, Boris Mironov is +7 on the season, leads the Rangers. Remember, Mironov and Malakoff as a pair struggled some early, but they've really come on, and his +7 leads the entire team.
In attendance tonight is Mark Howe, the son of the great Gordy, and watching closely as a scout for the Red Wings, but also watching Mark Messier, who may pass his dad in the points. There's a quick shot that missed the net. That one deflected and is gloved at the side of the net by Markkanen.
Markkanen not credited with a save on the one that missed the net on the odd man rush here, but he was in good position. Real good position. He was square to Sweeney, the defenseman, who had jumped into the play and forced a shot high and wide and then held on to the long shot. See the trailer? There he is. Look where Markkanen is. He was in good position. Read the play nicely. I got a little soft spot for a guy that has to go in there and hasn't played for quite some time. That's not easy.
Puck off the side of the net. Steve Ott winds it into the corner. Battle along the boards. Ott is on with Mikko Kapanen and Aaron Downey. Matvichuk back to get it. You know, in talking about the changes on defense for Dallas, that shot stick to side by Turco. Sharp angle shot by Dan LaCouture. I think Newmanen takes up the slack for Sador, John, but I don't know if anybody takes up the slack for Hatcher.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Turco stopped that one around the net. Paul Healy gets taken down, and the Stars come out with a puck.
I can tell you this, Sam, earlier in the season, watching Dallas games, sometimes they were a little flat, but they were soft in front of their own net. When you don't have a Darian Hatcher there, I'd feel much braver about going to the front of the net knowing that that big guy wasn't there.
Puck picked up by Modano. Quick shot by Biantanen was blocked. Modano keeps it in. It's deep to Scott Young. Young comes out, leaves it for Modano. Drops it back. Zubov. Checked along the boards. Good play by Hlavich, and it's cleared out by Jamie Lundmark. Kovalov trying to get to the puck was held up by Sweeney. You heard the crowd roar. Now Kovalov bends over. He got clipped to the side of the head.
I think Turco on the follow-through may have gotten him inadvertent.
Modano drops it back on Sweeney. Shot a stick save by Markkanen, who's now starting to see some pucks come his way. Hlavich crisscross with Lundmark. Lundmark to the net. Turco sticks it aside. At the point, Mironov. Deep for Lundmark. Try to put it in front. Zubov with a good play. Knocked away from him. Mironov steps up. Bouncing puck in front. Knocked away from Hlavich. Outlet for Scott Young goes by him. Malakoff plays it. Dallas changing.
I've been impressed with the Rangers game to this point. They haven't given up much. They're shorthanded due to injuries, and they're playing hard.
This is 3 games in 4 nights for the Dallas Stars. Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday, and 3 and 4 for the Rangers as well. Billy Guerin got it back. Loved by Markkanen, holds it. 8:15 to go. First period. Rangers and Stars, no score.
Honey, you were so right. I listed this in less than a minute.
I told you listing on Poshmark was quick and easy.
Oh, I sold my black tote and my slip dress. Let's go get mani-pedis.
Ooh, thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Poshmark.
Want extra cash? It's easy with the Poshmark app. Download to start selling today.
This is the one. She fixes, she manages, she perfects. Because maintaining this space transports her to this space. The industrial grade product you need. Call, click, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This year's playoffs were full of unforgettable moments.
Brilliant play by McGee.
Now you can relive them all one series at a time.
Oh, yeah!
All the intensity.
They're going to drop the gloves. We've got multiple altercations.
All the big goals.
right between the legs.
All of one series, all in a row.
It's going to be awesome.
Series in a day. Mondays and Thursdays on NHL Network Daytime.
Well, was this inadvertent by Marty Turco with Kovalov? Watch Turco's left hand. Wham, he caught him up high in the face end. And watch in front here, the stick work of the goaltender after Carter moved into him. Turco has 12 penalty minutes on the season.
You goalies.
I think that first one was a shot to the face with Turco's left hand on purpose. The second one, I'd be clubbing the guy too to move him out of there, but the first one,
Chance in front, the backhander saved by Markkanen, rebound is cleared aside. Brendan Morrow going to the net. Markkanen made 2 saves, John.
He kicked it out with his left foot. He was down, he kicked out his left leg, and it knocked the puck away.
Malakoff reverses to Mironov. That Brendan Morrow, he hits everybody. Anybody on the ice, he skates over and gives him a shot.
Well, Sammy's a big guy.
Yeah, he's tough, too. Don Sweeney takes over. 7.5 minutes to go first period. DeMaio was stopped. Leach tried to get it through to Messier, but it was blocked. Barnes gets across with the puck. DeVries checks him and blocks the pass. Barnaby comes out. Messier joins the play. Barnaby left it for him. Messier shoots, stick save. Made by Turco. Played by Simon, takes a hit, winds it deep. Messier and Don Sweeney. Barnaby against Zubov. Simon against Barnes. And now it's Zubov moving it to DeMaio. Dumped in by Pierre Turgeon. DeMaio in deep against Barnaby. Turgeon checked by Leach. Turgeon keeps it alive. DeVries picked him up. And the puck through all the way around to Turgeon. DeVries able to move it to Messier. Messier cross ice to Simon, who shoots wide. Kovalov just on. Kovalov against Barnes. Puck behind the net. Played by Teppo Numminen. Mayo checked by Lundmark. Numminen drops it down the boards. Plays it ahead, and the shot by Kapanen was blocked. Bouchard with a nice move. Aggressive forecheck by the Stars. The Rangers have to move the puck quickly. They get in. Kovalov left it there for Bouchard, the backhander behind the net. Alavich.
Well, both teams have been similar here. We haven't seen a lot of play between the blue lines, but the end zone play is from the outside. So they don't sit back, but they don't give you much down the middle.
Kovalov's pass off the stick of Kasparaitis. Don Sweeney takes over. Knocked down, played by Kovalov. Gets it through to Bouchard. Sweeney goes to him. Toward the net, it was blocked by Kapanen. Kovalov in front for Lundmark, and he just couldn't get control. Has it now. In deep for Kovalov. Checked by Sweeney. They both go down.
That's good work by the Rangers. I mean, they're forcing the play. They're trying to make Dallas make mistakes.
How long have you been tracking the value of our car? Should we sell it?
We hold.
Our low mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Hold.
Now!
Already sold to Carvana.
Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
I'm certain it's level 5.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
The NHL is taking hockey to a whole new level with NHL Blast on Roblox, featuring the coolest digital hockey hub. Grab your favorite NHL jersey, create your own custom goalie mask, then it's game on. Team up with friends as you hit the ice and streets in this fast-paced twist on hockey. Protect your goal, tag opponents, shoot, score, and of course, sell it. Explore hockey's new home on Roblox at nhl.com/blast.
Here's the Panasonic digital replay of Jussi Markkanen, a backhand save through traffic, and then boom, kicks the puck away from Morrow. Watch, oh, good reflex action there. As Morrow thought he had an open sider. Morrow scored his only goal of the season in the last game he played. Thought he had 2 in a row.
Hear the cheers in the background. Rangers doing a great thing this year, bringing back former players and former stars. And the man who's here tonight is the oldest living Ranger, 90-year-old Clint Smith, who played on the 1940 Stanley Cup championship team.
And put into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1991. And the fans really responded. He is such a gentleman,
Yes.
isn't he, Sam?
And it's great.
Great to see
I
him.
just think it's great as they bring back players, former players. Shot by Modano goes wide.
Last game it was Gilles Villemure, the ex-goaltender that was here. Gilles looked great too.
And the word from our producer Joe Whalen is Stefan Matteau will be here Saturday. Rangers move in. Messier for Simon. Great play in front by John Erskine, lifting Simon's stick. 2 big men in front, and Erskine made a great play. Long shot by Malakoff goes wide.
Rangers are very close to getting high-quality shots, but Dallas does a nice job at the last second to take the shot away.
Mike Modano with a good move and a big drive, blocked away by Markkanen. The man that Dallas seems to miss a lot is Jere Lehtinen, one of the great defensive forwards, two-way forwards in the game.
Serious back problems, Sam. He's had some anti-inflammatory fluid injected into the nerves that are damaged in his back, and it hasn't worked yet. So they really miss him. Yes, Selke Trophy winner last year.
He played opening night, and that was it. Wraparound try by Holik. Aggressive play with a stick by Barney Turco. To the puck, Ruchinski. Knocked away from him. Arnott moves it. Out of the zone it goes. DeVries with Guerin on him. Given away in center. Here comes Brendan Morrow. Met by DeVries. Picked up by Holik.
Wow.
Look at Morrow. Stay on the puck. Pass across. Ruchinski.
That's why I gave it the wow there, because Holik looked like he was going to knock him off the puck, but it didn't work.
Carter picked up by Arnott, gets it to Holik, saved by Turco, rebound all the way out. Ruchinski got taken down on the play. 3:15 to go in the first. No score in the game. Giveaway in center by Holik, who wanted to get it deep. And instead the Stars send it deep into the Ranger zone. DeVries tangled up with Stu Barnes. Down the boards comes Turgeon, plays it toward the net but wide, and Carter gets over. Back to get it, Zubov. Dallas 2-2-1 on the road. The Rangers 3-1-2-1 on home ice. Last one, the overtime loss on Sunday. Nice move through the neutral zone by DeMaio. Avoids Kasparaitis. That's too many avoided. Barnes plays it deep to Turgeon. Turgeon against Bouchard. Pass taken away by Kasparaitis. And he's tied up by Rob DeMaio. And he gets it out of the zone. Turco looks around. Behind the play, Kasparaitis and DeMaio still going at it. That is some battle going on. DeMaio's got the puck now. Broken up by Lundmark. The puck into the Rangers bench with 2:04 to go in the first period. Scrappy Rob DeMaio and Kasparaitis were going at it.
Two scrappy guys. This battle continued all the way up the boards. Kasparaitis had tried to throw the hip check into DeMaio, and DeMaio didn't much like that, so they battled. And sure enough, the puck's going to find them again. And they go after each other. Messier with a good hit there on Scott Young, who had to play the puck. When you have to play the puck, sometimes you pay a price.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Mironov tried to move it. It was blocked. Moves it again. Stopped at the point. John Erskine. Big drive blocked. And cleared out. Good block on the play by Paul Healy. Down the boards comes LaCouture. This line is Dominic Moore with Paul Healy and Dan LaCouture. Healy with the hit on John Erskine. Moore left it for Healy. Checked by Erskine. Winds it around. Moore takes it. Moore looking to make a play toward the net. Stick to side by Turco. LaCouture in the corner against Dumoulin. They battle for the puck. Healy comes over. Shoved to the boards by Erskine. Moore. Back pass. Healy works it down the boards for Moore. Moore set up for Malakoff. In the corner, Healy tangled up with Erskine.
Boy, is that good hard work or what? By both teams, really.
And the fans applaud the Rangers' effort. The puck is cleared out. 1 minute to go in the first period.
And that all started with Healy's block of the defenseman's slap shot just inside the Rangers' blue line. And then the Rangers spent a full minute inside the Dallas zone.
Great play by Ruchinski to negate what would have been an icing, but the Stars recover the puck. Morrow across. Drop pass. Shot by Arnott. Blocked. Arnott again is taken to the boards. Good check by Holik. That pass blocked by Holik, and he takes it and fires it around. Anson Carter back the other way for Leach. Leach moves in. Leach with a pass that went off a skate of Bill Guerin out of the zone. 25 seconds to go in the period. Arnott for Guerin. Back for Arnott. Leach checks him. Pass for Guerin broken up. Holik brings it out. Now Anson Carter, big drive blocked by Richard Matvichuk. And Turco covers the puck side of the net, waits for a whistle, and finally gets one.
I think he was reading the clock. There's only 8.6 seconds to go in the period, and I think he was trying to find a way to loosen the puck and kill the clock. You know, the shots are only 7-7, but both teams have been really stingy in allowing the puck's been in the end zones a lot, but it's hard to find shots.
John, I think the last 3 or 4 games, Bobby Holik has played his toughest games as a New York Ranger.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. The game the other night against Colorado, he was spectacular with his toughness. And here he's had a lot of shifts against big Jason Arnott. And a big center to neutralize a big center is such a bonus for your team. And he has been much better than a season ago.
Final seconds of the period. Simon had a hit on Zubov after he released. The period ends. Shots are even at 7. UC Markkanen in his Madison Square Garden debut. Paul Healy in his Rangers debut.
Well, we talked about the block that he made. He's a right winger, and his job is to get out there. And he went down, took the shot off the body, quickly got up and forced it out of the zone, and then he went in on the forecheck. And watch this hit. Boom. That's how you stop the other team's defense from making a good, crisp pass. You make them hurry with their passes, and they can't get back into the play. So he had a good period, too.
End of 1 at Madison Square Garden. Rangers and Dallas Stars are scoreless. Hal will be back with us in just a moment.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Da Vinci gave me twice the pits and private parts, which makes me smell twice as bad.
A PU?
That's why I use Mando whole body deodorant. The manly deodorant for all the manly crevasses of my manly body.
Mando, he smells good.
Mando doesn't just block odor all day. It controls odor for 72 hours. With cologne quality scents. Roma wasn't built in a day, but with Mando, you can smell good for 3 of them. So if you want to smell better naked, then go to shopmando.com today.
Here it is.
The way he plays is so spectacular to watch.
Did your favorite make the cut? Find out when we reveal our list.
You can't find players like this.
Of the top 20 defensemen right now. Wednesday, 6 Eastern on NHL Network.
Sam Rosen, John Davidson, Al Trotwig at Madison Square Garden. First period scoring summary is brought to you by BMW. No scoring in the game. Stars and Rangers 7 shots apiece. 2 for Brendan Morrow. Only power play to the Rangers, and they didn't get anything going on that. As far as the hitting is concerned, Mark Messier with 2, Steve Ott with 3, and the Rangers with the edge 13-10. And for our friend up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, it's trivia time.
All right.
So let's see what tonight's trivia question is, brought to you by Nissan. Who was the last NHL player to start his career with a streak of 400 or more consecutive games? Oh, man.
That's a good
Start the NHL career with a streak of 400 or more consecutive games. You want it, Al?
Not feeling good about this one, Sam.
Oh, that's
really
a tough one. All right.
That's it. That's a really good question.
He's in the building.
All right, that is the tip, the hint for our audience.
And you know
for
what,
us,
Sam?
He's in the building.
You know, John Davidson does not need people from Manitoba pulling for him.
You're right.
Yes, I do.
You're right.
And I
But
appreciate
Al,
it.
I don't know if you heard it the other night, Al. I met a person in Canada who actually didn't know who JD was.
Well,
the
then
first time in my life.
He's not huge enough in Canada.
But look at this. Barnaby and Ott having pushing and shoving little taps here before the puck's even going to be dropped to start the period. Here we go. By the way, my father's side is from Manitoba.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know.
All right.
Here we go. Watch this.
I'm watching them. You watch the puck. They're still here. There they go. Glove drop.
And Barnaby.
Barnaby and Ott. It was bound to happen. 7 seconds in. They go.
Ott had an active first period, taking the body. Barnaby's problems. How about this one? You can't pull the back of the jersey over a player's head, so pull it up from the front over the player's head. You see that?
Yes.
I haven't seen that strategy before, but look what it did. Barnaby's now we can see
the helmet off of Ott.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Barnaby had stitches between or on the bridge of the nose.
Barnaby has fought back here.
A cut the other day.
And he lands some lefts. Tell you what, Barnaby did a heck of a job considering how he had the jersey up over his head to start the thing. Yeah, 12 stitches between the eyes. Look how the jersey came up from the front. Now you got to start tying them down on both sides. See, Ott gave him the stick there, but you don't know. Did Barnaby say something to him or whatever? Barnaby can be very sharp-tongued, as you and I know. But they had, there was something that was bugging those two guys. The second period hadn't even started, and it looked like Ott was going to go, and Barnaby wasn't. So you see how the gloves are dropped? And then all of a sudden, okay, here, let's go.
Al, what do you got down there?
Well, Sam, remember Matthew Barnaby's got that big stitched nose, and I asked him at the end of the intermission, I said, are you going to let it affect your game? He said, absolutely not. It's my little kids headbutting me that I'm worried about.
5 minutes each for fighting. No loss of manpower on the ice. 7 seconds into the second period. Holik gets away, and a good recovery by Jason Arnott. Into the corner, Ruchinski. Holik, Ruchinski, and Carter for the Rangers. Morrow, Arnott, and Guerin for Dallas. There's Brendan Morrow sliding it across, and Carter broke it up. Recovered by Holik. A hard pass went off the skates of Mironov. Mironov intercepts the pass of Morrow. Works it up the boards, and the Rangers come out. Ruchinski goes wide on Philippe Boucher. Saved by Turco. Popped in the air. Turco missed it with his stick. Kept in by Malakoff. It rolls by the net. Carter. Play along the boards. Puck comes out in front. Guerin clears and took a shot to the back of the head from Kasparaitis.
And the net's off to Mooring. Holik was involved there. The referee went down to the ice hard. There's starting to be some hitting here. This line for the Rangers really came out and did some hitting. Here's a look at the Canon Business Solutions goal cam. The shot will come from the point right in front there by Malakoff. That went just wide. Carter was about to be hit. He became the hitter. Boom, right there. And that's Matvichuk who went down hard. He's playing with an injury. Holik drives to the net. He's got Morrow on him. And Morrow's the one that drove him into the net. So this is starting to get a little bit feisty out there.
Canon Business Solutions, digital technology powered by people with a goal cam. Look at the shot from the point. Puck deflected away from in front. Modano gets out. Modano feed to Scott Young, and a shot that may have gone off a mask of Markkanen.
I think it did, Sam. The referee just said, are you okay? And he waved with his left hand and said, yeah. That went off his chin.
Obolov has got it. Takes the shot. He scores! It may have been tipped by Messier in front. Simon went to Messier. Messier may have tipped that. That may be a Messier goal, and he may have tied Gordie Howe. The Messier family salutes Mark Messier, who is tied for second all time.
The shot on Markkanen caught him right on the chin. And at that point, the Rangers came back down the ice. Wham! Right in the face. Referee looked at him and he said, yeah, I'm okay. The play continued. Kovalov made some play inside the blue line. Messier drives to the net. It's either a goal or it's an assist. One or the other. One or the other. It's a point for Mark Messier. And you can see the look on his face. You could tell by his mom, his sister, and his dad. They were all pretty happy, weren't they?
And there it is. Tied with Gordie Howe at 1,850 career points. Second all-time in NHL history. And out it comes. The Rangers take the lead on the Dallas Stars. Waiting the announcement of the goal. In comes Turgeon. And Markkanen may have gotten a piece of that, and it hit the side of the net. Bouchard under pressure from Turgeon. Up the board, stop, long shot blocked in front. And the Rangers come out with a puck. And the lead. Lacouture, save made by Turco. This line skating well.
The Rangers are skating well as a team right now, Sam. They're finishing checks. They're forcing the play. They're making the play happen. And they look like they're in their own home rink, which is a nice feeling, isn't it? Their own home arena. MSG.
Arnott forced back. Bill Guerin across. Long drive was blocked by Brian Leetch. Turned by Ruchinski. 3-on-2 Rangers. Leetch the trailer. He shoots and it's blocked by Boucher.
Big block there. Leetch blocked a shot in his own zone.
Back the other way. Bill Guerin breaks to the net. Saved by Markkanen. As Leetch was desperately trying to catch up. Morrow with a big hit on Holik. Arnott with a drive that goes wide. Good action, up and down.
Brian Leetch all over the place here during this shift. Blocked a shot, had his shot blocked, and got back to try to stop breakaway back in his own zone. He was all over the place.
Markkanen with a good one-hand pass for Carter, but Carter couldn't clear. Madano moves in. Madano shoots, save, Markkanen, rebound, chip wide by Miettinen. Antti Miettinen, number 20, battling with DeVries. And the goal belongs to Mark Messier. Here is Madano. And it's broken up, cleared out. Messier from Kovalov and Bouchard at 1:37. Here's Miettinen. Saved by Markkanen. Gathers the rebound and covers up.
Rangers take the lead. Things open up. Good goaltending by Jussi Markkanen. Real good.
The standing ovation builds in the Garden for the great Mark Messier.
Look at the goal. Kovalov with some fancy work. Wrist shot. Messier waves at it and chips it past the hand. The outstretched arm of Marty Turco. And for Mark Messier, Sam, you think about it. Mark Messier and Gordie Howe. Two players who earned their ice, played it tough, great team leaders, and hockey's their game.
What a great moment. There's Mark Howe, son of the great Gordie, looking on. Mark Messier has reached one of the great milestones. Tying Gordie Howe for second all-time. How long the Gordie Howe mark stood until Wayne Gretzky surpassed him. Wayne, of course, the greatest of all time. Don Sweeney chips it up the boards.
Gordie Howe, 26 seasons, NHL, plus his seasons with the WHA. He played with his son, Mark.
And Marty.
And Marty, yes, his other son, on a line. I played against him at Hartford. Man, it was
some moment.
Oh my gosh.
Three of them skated on the same line.
Those have been two of the great assets over how many decades for the world of the NHL, the world of hockey.
Kovalov. Offside. And great to see Father Doug, sister Mary Kay, Mom Mary Jean here to share this special moment with Mark. And there's Mark Howe.
He was a terrific player too.
Yes, he was.
Terrific defenseman in Hartford with the Whalers, in Philadelphia with the Flyers.
I'm dabbing a few tears away there.
Well, I guess Mark gets one more point. Doug will be able to head back to Hilton Head and play golf. Congratulations again to Mark. I mean, it's a career. It's very hard to describe what Mark Messier has meant to a lot of different people in the world of sports around New York.
Oh, big head Kasparaitis on DeMaio. He got up and slapped Kasparaitis with a stick. They've been going at it since earlier in the game. Walked around the board, put out in front. Turco with an alert play because Carter was right in front all alone. 1-0 Rangers, early second period. The goal from here's a giveaway. Ruchinski shoots wide. Carter behind the net. Looking to make a play. The pass comes out of the zone.
Marty Turco was doing his impersonation of John Davidson. Oh, that was a terrible giveaway through the middle.
The goal for Mark Messier gives him 5 on the season. He leads the team. Turco has trouble with Holik. Puck pops out in front and John Erskine moves it. Here's Billy Guerin, 3-on-2. Across. Arnott. Shot deflected wide. Arnott recovers. Leetch goes to him. Toward the net. Saved by Markkanen. Had trouble with it.
It may have been deflected in front. You know who was in front? Billy Guerin. Who else?
That's it. Very dangerous, Bill Guerin. with 6 goals in the last 3 games, 2 hat tricks. Shot by Brendan Morrow, saved with a glove by Markkanen. He's facing some tough shots, and he's stopping them right now.
That may have been his best one right there. Did Morrow ever catch that shot? That was a rocket. Great glove save.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Belich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
I don't know if Robbie DeMaio realizes it, but he's about to get hit. Oh, yeah, he felt it coming. He was ready for it. That was the Panasonic digital replay. And then Markkanen with a great glove save there. Knocked the puck down with his arm on Brendan Morrow.
Arnott wins from Holik. Down comes Philippe Boucher around the net. Boucher turns, saved by Markkanen. And the Rangers control. Martin Ruchinski on the puck.
Arnott. Arnott's coming off a game where he was 12-4 on faceoffs, and he won that one, and that led to the shot. Dallas getting a few more shots now. They've opened it up a little bit.
Leach to DeVries. Stars out shooting the Rangers 14-11, 7-4 here in the second period. Each team with only 7 shots total in the first period.
Do you know that the top 8 teams defensively in the NHL, top with goals against, 7 of them are from the East? Wow. 7 of the 8.
Malakoff.
A lot of people talk about Ottawa being the best team in the game. I think Vancouver right now is the best team in the game. They really shredded Detroit last night. Detroit's struggling some, but Vancouver is awesome. Just awesome. If you have a chance to watch them play, folks, find a way to watch them. They're great to watch.
Good skating team.
Transition, goaltending, everything.
And tough Fouchier, their #1 goaltender. Rangers were whistled for icing. Malakoff moves it up the boards. Barnaby plays it across to Chris Simon. Off the corner boards. Ron Erskine. And Messier is there. Deep into the Dallas zone. Race for the puck. Icing whistle against the Rangers.
Shouldn't be icing.
Al is with Mark Howe. Let's join them now. Al.
Okay, Sam. Have you talked to your dad about Mark catching up to his number?
Yeah, we actually we've been talking 3 or 4 times this week. So it actually was really nice. And Dad spent a whole period with Mark Messier at the exhibition game they played in Detroit. So in all the years that I played against him, and we played against him in the WHA, and Dad has so much respect for him, and it's records are made to be broken, and you like guys like that to do it.
Did he think over time that it would be caught or not?
We don't. It's strange. As a family, we don't talk much about hockey stuff. We always talk about family and personal things, and but yeah, Dad never looks back. He looks forward, but somebody catching Gretzky, I don't know about that, but yeah, you knew it was bound to happen sooner or later.
Thanks for your time, Mark. It's great to see you.
All right, thank you.
Mark Howe, back to you, Sam.
Thanks, Al. Thanks to Mark Howe.
You hear what he said, though? He said his dad thought it'd be great for a person like Mark Messier to break it. Those 2 players, when they were younger in their careers, played the same way. And that was downright mean.
Yeah. And what Mark Howe was alluding to is during the preseason, Rangers had an exhibition game in Detroit. Mark Messier was not dressed for the game. He spent time with Gordie Howe, and Mark's son, Lion, who plays junior hockey out west, was with them, and they got time to spend they were able to spend time with Gordie Howe, and it was a great experience for everybody.
Well, if I ever have grandchildren, Sam will be able to tell them I played against Mark Messier and I played against Gordie Howe.
There you go.
And I'm happy I did.
Nice. Just tell them you shut them out, too. Well, they don't have to know anything. Just tell them you shut them out.
Let's not get into the specifics, Sam.
1-0 Rangers. 11:10 to go, second period. Bouchard took it away. Played the glass.
Guess who met down there again?
DeMaio and Kasparaitis.
The puck just went off DeMaio's helmet, I think. Went out.
Take a look at the Rangers' upcoming schedule. A road game Thursday night at Carolina, and then the Rangers home for 3 more. Philadelphia Saturday afternoon. That's a 1 o'clock start, preceded by Rangers game night at 12:30. Edmonton here on Monday, then Pittsburgh here on Wednesday. And you see the game next Monday will be on Fox Sports Net. The other games on MSG Network.
Fasten your seatbelt for that Carolina game Thursday. This is the third time these two teams have met.
Long shot blocked in front. Bouchard moves it. Palavich. Jamie Lundmark. Alex Kovalov. Kovalov. Bouchard in deep. Alex Kovalov with that shot toward the net. It was on net, allowing Mark Messier the deflection. Assists on the goal that ties Gordie Howe.
See a lot of DeMaio and Kasparaitis. They have met up all game long to this point. I think that puck goes off of DeMaio's helmet here. Dang, yeah, right off the top of his helmet. And the faceoff was still inside the zone. The fellows with the striped jerseys made a little minor mistake there.
Okay. Face-off controlled by the Rangers. DeVries lifts it up off the glass. Hanson, Carter, and Arnott. Arnott moves it around to Bill Guerin. In deep, DeVries and Morrow. Arnott. DeVries stays with Morrow. And Malik moved in to take the puck. Able to get it out of the zone. And Philippe Boucher takes over. Who started his NHL career with the Buffalo Sabres, played with the LA Kings before coming to the Dallas Stars.
Matvichuk's coming off an injury. They weren't sure if he was going to be able to play. I think a foot or an ankle injury. And he's there and playing hard.
Leach lost the puck, set up for Arnott, shot blocked. I think DeVries got over to block it. Rangers come the other way. Carter. Nice pass. Ruchinski saved by Turco.
A beautiful pass by Carter and a terrific save.
Up the boards. Blocked and kept in by Paul Healy. Taken away by Arnott, and he fires it down. This will be an icing on Dallas. Back to touch up is Mironov. 9:25 to go in the second period. Rangers a 1-0 lead.
Everyone has a ritual. That small thing to keep us focused. A habit we never skip. To clear our minds and elevate our performance. But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Maybe you surround yourself with positivity. Or you need to center yourself. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body. It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
This offseason, we're taking Saturdays to a whole new level with Saturday Hockey Highlights.
Tremendous.
A whole day of themed programs.
Looks good.
To make your summer a little bit cooler.
Whoa, 102.5.
This Saturday,
Three-puck Panarin.
the outdoor games have become a season staple for over a decade.
They score!
Relive some of the best.
Touch score!
Saturday Hockey Highlights. Outdoor games. Saturday noon Eastern on NHL Network.
Here's a look at the Cannon Business Solutions goal cam. Beautiful pass by Carter. Blocker glove save by Turco, who makes a key save with his team already down by 1 goal.
Cannon Business Solutions, digital technology powered by people with a gold cam look. At the Turco save. Dumped in. Scott Young against Malakoff. For Simon. Malakoff keeps it moving. Mironov gets it back to Malakoff. Pressured by Modano. Messier clearing the zone. Barnaby Hook checked away from him, and
Barnaby,
Steve Ott has it.
he's playing opposite Ott again. Remember, they had the scrap to start the second period.
Ott's 21 years old. Former first-round draft pick of the Stars in 2000. Give away to Malakoff. Brings it across with Chris Simon. Fires wide. SCA stops it. Teppo Newman unable to clear the zone. Here comes UC Markkanen. 8.5 minutes to go, second period. Lead for Lacouture, drove it wide. Lacouture, Healy, and Moore on for the Rangers. Pass by Healy, deflected, popped in the air. Lacouture's got it, and a save by Turco.
Big time. Nice play by Lacouture and better patience by Turco. Another giant save by the Dallas goaltender.
Forecheck pressure by the Stars. Pierre Turgeon, but the Rangers come out. Lacouture tried all the moves he could. And Turco stayed with him.
Boy, that front of the net was vacant, wasn't it? Only the Rangers in blue standing there.
Lacouture chipping it out of the zone.
Good shift for this line. Lacouture, Moore, and Healy. They give the Rangers a solid shift as they're now called for icing. You're going to see Lacouture have to find the puck in midair, and he takes his time. Puts it down, fake, backhand, tries to get it up, but you can see Turco take his glove and put his arm up against his body and his goal pad, and Lacouture tried everything but couldn't elevate the puck to the top corner.
All right, John, let's answer the question of Al from Long Island. Why the Rangers traded Sergei Zubov?
I have to ask the Rangers. I don't know.
Well, I guess at the time, the feeling was he was soft.
Yeah.
A soft player, despite the points he put up. The Rangers still had Brian Leetch for the power play. They acquired Ulf Samuelsson, a tougher defenseman at the time. I think that was the reason.
Zubov has played well in Dallas. That's rather obvious.
Yes, he has.
But remember, Pittsburgh traded him too. He didn't fit Mario Lemieux's style of play for some reason. I don't know what it was, but there was some form of a rift there.
I thought that would be a good fit. Leetch winds and fires, deflected away. Yetinen playing it back to Zubov. So we hope, Al from Long Island, we answered your question. But keep on emailing us. We love the emails. Just under 7 minutes to go in the second period. Alavich tied up by Kapanen without the stick, and Zubov gets over, clears it. Rangers, a slow change. Finally got off the ice.
Only been
puck was moved out.
One power play in this game, despite all the good hitting, rather disciplined hitting.
What would you pay for an iPad Pro? I only paid $42 on Deal Dash.
DealDash.com. Online auction since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. And this smart charcoal grill sold for $16. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20. Deals like these and many more happen in the thousands of daily auctions on DealDash.com. All auctions start at $0. And remember, everything must go.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56. I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And you get a 90-day money-back guarantee with your first purchase.
This brand new iPhone sold for less than $42. And this DJI drone sold for less than $21.
And I got it for $16 on Deal Dash.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
There are auctions going on right now. So what are you waiting for?
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the NHL and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
Get closer to hockey with the NHL app. Closer to the names you know and need to know.
Zibanejad scores!
Closer to all the games, all the time. Get closer to everything you love with the NHL app.
You know these players, maybe even seen their highlights.
Is this guy special or what? Cutting, shooting, he scores!
This offseason, you can dive into hockey history.
Save, rebound, there it is! 500! This is Solani all alone! Yes! The Finnish Flash gets the hat trick.
Now you can see the full games that defined the careers of some of hockey's greatest.
There's been so many great moments.
Superstar Summer Tuesdays on NHL Network Daytime.
Malakoff threw his player right down to the ice. That was Brendan Morrill.
John Erskine moves it across. And back the other way, taken off the boards by Modano. Backhander hits the skate. Big battle. Markkanen made a save as Scott Young got a shot off with Kasparaitis on him, and Markkanen made a good save. Good effort by Scott Young on that play.
It was a good effort to get the backhand shot, but also by Kasparaitis to not allow a great shot. Just sort of a little flicker type of a shot that Markkanen was down waiting for. Modano has only got himself 1 goal in the last 11 games in this building.
Moving toward the net, Teppo Numminen around the net. Numminen stays with it as Leach forced him wide. The puck bounces in front, loose puck. Young finds it, but shot it wide again. Now Modano. Steve Ott was tied up by Greg DeVries. Played by Young. Numminen in deep again. Chris Simon picks him up. Good pressure here by the Dallas Stars. Numminen gets it to Modano. Back pass, Young shoots, blocked by DeVries, and Barnaby comes out with the puck. 3-on-2 across, Messier with him. Barnaby to the net, fake, shoots, scores! What a goal by Matthew Barnaby! It's 2-0 Rangers!
Sam, that was a 3-on-2, and Barnaby looked like a rocket ship. It became a 2-on-1, and then it was a breakaway. Great block shot at the left blue line by the Rangers right there. That shot never got through. It was blocked, and here go the Rangers. So Barnaby looks, and everything just opened up, and that fake froze the goaltender, Turco. The block shot right there, I think by Greg DeVries.
Yes.
And Barnaby heads up ice and looks and looks and looks and looks. Messier went to the net. He was the decoy. Everybody went to him, and the Rangers lead 2-0. What a goal.
Cannon Business Solutions, digital technology powered by people. Providing the goal cam look at the goal by Matthew Barnaby.
They've been the Rangers' best line all season long. Simon, Messier, and Barnaby.
And they've provided both goals tonight. In deep, Stu Barnes. Shot it wide. Around it comes. Don Sweeney is there for Dallas. Turgeon trying to get out in front. Denied by Kasparaitis. Kovalov moves it and hit a skate. Kovalov has it back. Barnaby with his second from DeVries at 15:01, giving the Rangers a 2-0 lead. Joel Bouchard plays it in deep.
It's late in the second period. The Rangers got in trouble the other night against Colorado when they were leading 2-0 when Kovalov took a penalty. Stay away from bad penalties. That's the most important thing right now for the Rangers.
Puck went into the skates of Stu Barnes. For Greg DeVries, 4 assists on the season. Lundmark goes wide against Zubov. Tried to center. Zubov blocked it and rides Lundmark to the boards. Lundmark stays with the puck. Puts it in front. Turgeon knocked it away. Rangers recover. Malakoff to Mironov. 3:45 to go in the second. Malavich battling Barnes. Mironov deflected wide by Dominic Moore. Moore moves around. The backhander was blocked. Zubov was able to clear.
And Moore would like to have that chance again, Sam. A beautiful pass across to him. He had the open side and couldn't finish.
Good job by Dominic Moore coming off the bench as the Rangers started to change. Locke-Couture plays it into the Dallas zone. And the touch-up made by Philippe Boucher, and icing whistled against the Rangers. Dominic Moore, when he was first brought up in Montreal, Glenn Sather told us it was for a taste. However, if he played very well, he could stay here. Well, so far, he's played pretty well.
The first game in Montreal, he only played 7:38. The second game, he played 14 minutes, mainly because of the Nedved injury. Look at the pass in front. He couldn't quite get the shot on goal, but he knows where to go, Sam. He knows how to make plays. He's intelligent. I think he has to work on his face-offs yet, which is natural when you first get up against the major league guys. But I'll tell you what, those young kids the Rangers have all been bonuses so far. Lundmark, Moore, you see Healy here. There's other good kids in the minors.
Anson Carter for Holik. It got through and a save by Turco.
That was
Holik
a deflection. Yeah, what a save. It could be 3-zip. That was some deflection and a really sharp save by Marty Turco. Carter has passed the puck really well in this game. See the deflection? What a save. Carter set up Ruchinski with a nice pass earlier for a real good scoring chance. You know, when you break tapes down, coaches all do it. You know, who had the chances, who created the chances, and that was created by Carter, or who gave up the chances. And Carter, in my mind, in this game, has set some real good ones up for the Rangers.
Rangers have skated very well through 2 periods. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the second. Rangers leading 2-0. Goals by Mark Messier and Matthew Barnaby. Moore is chased. Healy comes in for the faceoff. Controlled by Dallas. Zubov behind the net. Zubov with Numminen. Up front, Mikko Kapanen on the puck here, number 39. He's on with Aaron Downey, number 47, and Antti Miettinen, number 20.
That was a set breakout and a trap setup.
Here's Kapanen setting up Miettinen, who missed the shot. Mikko Kapanen behind the net. Off the back of the net, goes into the corner. Aaron Downey. Downey checked by DeVries. Miettinen tied up by Dominic Moore. Miettinen keeps it alive. Moore stays with him. Played toward the net. Good play by Lacouture. Gets it out of the zone.
That's what the Rangers worked at all through camp, Sam. That exact play there where you stay in your position, don't panic in your zone, don't act like it's a fire drill, and they did the job. And you know what? Healy was on the ice. At Hartford, they play the same system. Ryan McGill and Nick Fotiu, the coaches. In fact, Ryan McGill's here tonight. Same system. So when they get up here, they know how to play.
Barnaby stopped by Boucher. The other factor is, and something that Glenn Sather likes to do, they're playing 4 lines, John. Every line.
Well, they played a lot of hockey lately. They have to. And if the guys are playing hard, Sam, why not play? Yep. They earn it.
Puck went into the Rangers bench. If you joined us late, Rangers without Peter Nedved, a back problem, Tom Poti the flu, and Mike Dunham not starting tonight with a bit of a groin problem, though he is the backup tonight.
Healy went down there, and he seemed to be bothered. He's twisting around his back a little bit. Wonder if it tightened up on him. Yeah, you see, he's twisted something. Good ISO there. That's good camera work.
Speaking of, yes, it was. Long shot stopped by Martin. And speaking of back problems, Martin Ruchinski was showing us how Peter Nedved walked in the hall. He looked like a robot, just stepped back, and so Peter Ruchinski's making fun of him.
Have you ever had a bad back? Like
no,
that?
knock wood.
Yeah.
I have never.
It's a horrible thing for an athlete.
You have.
I've had 2 back operations. Yeah. It's a terrible feeling.
But I just want to let Peter know that Ruchinski
you're telling the story with a big smile on your face. Making fun of Peter.
Were you laughing the whole way?
No, I think it's a horrible thing.
Under a minute to go, second period. Madonna, nice pass, and the shot was blocked by Bouchard. His outlet went by Barnaby, and Zubov takes over. It's again good positioning by the Rangers after a beautiful touch pass by Madonna. Chance for Arnott. Back in front, and the shot was missed by Brendan Morrow. A great pass. But Morrow missed. Holik moves in. Drives it in a save by Turco. It's cleared away with 20 seconds in the period. Guerin winds up. And the shot blocked by Mironov, who feels it in the right leg. Shakes it off. Morrow moves in again. Puck taken away by Carter. Lifts it out with 5 seconds remaining in the period. Fans start to rise to their feet. The cheers grow. It's a standing O for the Rangers as they take a 2-0 lead to the locker room. And Mark Messier climbs another notch in the history books of the NHL.
And I will guarantee you that the Rangers will talk about their 3rd period against Colorado because they were leading 2-0 going into that 3rd. Ended up losing in overtime. They do not want a repeat of what happened here on Sunday.
Goals by Messier and Barnaby give the Rangers a 2-0 lead, end of 2.
From our earliest days here at the Hockey Hall of Fame, we've wanted to be a place where hockey fans could come and really experience the game. Some would say we were interactive before interactive was interactive. Now, did we make some mistakes? Maybe a couple. But we think we've really nailed it this time. Shoot it, save it, call it. Only at the Hockey Hall of Fame.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the National Hockey League. And the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear. With unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics, Adidas, and all the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
This is the story of how a feel-good family film, my whole life and my whole focus was that one script, turned into an NHL franchise.
We clearly did not think about a physical hockey team in Anaheim.
And the remarkable playoff run.
I love those kind of stories.
That landed this unique team on hockey's biggest stage.
That was all good. You know, you got to have fun with some things.
This is NHL Backstory, available on NHL.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297 or opt into our payment plan of 4 easy interest-free payments. Plus, if you call now, we'll add a portable charging dock and your shipping is absolutely free. The Nano hearing aids come with outstanding lifetime customer support and a 45-day money-back guarantee. Supplies are limited, so you must act now.
Call 1-800-411-5033. That's 1-800-411-5033.
Rangers with a 2-0 lead on the Dallas Stars. Second period scoring summary is brought to you by Geico Direct. Mark Messier, a team leading 5th goal, and of course getting the point that ties him for second all-time with Gordie Howe at 1,850. 1:37 the time. Kovalov and Bouchard assisting. Matthew Barnaby with a great goal at 15:01 from Greg DeVries made it 2-0. Shots are even for the game. There's been only one power play in the game. Rangers got that in the first period. We are set to start the third period, and again it's Holik against Arnott. We're underway. And here's the stage where the Rangers were Sunday evening, leading 2-0 over Colorado. And Colorado was able to come back in that game to tie in regulation and win in overtime. Let's see how the Rangers do tonight and how they play it.
Well, a lot of Malakoff and Mironov along with Holik against the Arnott line. Arnott a big centerman. Of course, Guerin a strong man, and so is Morrow. That's actually a big line as Markkanen hangs on.
Let's do our trivia, Nissan trivia quiz, and a tough question tonight. Who was the last NHL player to start his career with a streak of 400 or more consecutive games? I'll go first. Guy Carbonneau.
I was going to say Dave Tippett, but Guy Carbonneau is pretty good. I'll go Dave Tippett, though. I'm not sure.
Al?
Yeah, I'm going with the fact that the Rangers are celebrating their history, and a guy by the name of Andy Hebington never missed a game.
Okay. Dave Tippett, you got it, John.
Bullseye, baby. 419 he went. How about that? I needed one. I've been 0 for the last 3 games.
See, John and I were looking at one another and we're wondering and thinking. But a good one. Good for you, John, to get back in it.
Thanks. I appreciate it. That's very kind, Sam. Thank you.
Yes. I want to thank Mike Crispino for picking up the point for me on
John
Sunday.
Tripp the other day.
Thank you.
He nailed us. Well, there's a good pass.
Pass to DeMaio from Turco. Oh, and it hit the crossbar. Markkanen lost sight of it. Bang off the crossbar. I don't know what happened. Markkanen never moved. I don't know if he thought it was going over the top. That last shot went off his shoulder. Here's Philippe Boucher, blocked by Lundmark, and Kovalov gets out of the zone with the puck. Nice move. Wines drives it over the top and off the glass. Chopped at by Steve Ott. Out of the zone it goes. Kovalov recovers.
It was kind of a weird play, wasn't it, Sam, on Markkanen? Turco made a great pass. When he got the puck, DeMaio went right to center ice on the boards and waited the timekeeper's semicircle there. It's a set play for a goaltender. When there's a line change, hit the man with the pass and you get a break in, and that's what happened.
Lundmark with Hlavich. Lundmark shot blocked by Boucher. His lead, a good one, brought in by Stu Barnes. Barnes pulls up against Mironov, puts it in front, and it's tipped wide by Scott Young. Good setup again. That shot by Turgeon from a sharp angle, stopped by Markkanen, and he stops play.
That was a good setup for Young, but at the same time, Malakoff was on him. Turco read that the Rangers were changing, so he fires the puck to center ice. Look who's there, DeMaio, nobody near him. The puck went up, but I think dipped. From that replay, it looked like it dipped, but the goalie's got to be aware of that. And Markkanen got very lucky on a real good pass by Marty Turco.
Cannon Business Solutions, digital technology powered by people, providing the goal cam look. And the shot by Rob DeMaio hitting the crossbar. We're 2.5 minutes into the third period. Rangers leading 2-0.
Messier took the face-off, Sam, and he just went off. So the Rangers are making sure not using an inexperienced player for the draw.
Rangers have Dominic Moore on with Dan Lacouture and Paul Healy. This is Lacouture. Puck comes out of the zone. Healy fired in by Lacouture. And Moore gets there. Avoids the hit attempt of Zubov. But the Stars gain possession. Zubov has it. Rangers in Carolina on Thursday night. Hope you'll join us. 6:30 Rangers game night. 7 o'clock Rangers and the Hurricanes right here on MSG Network.
Paul Healy just finished a shift and he went back to the bench and his back is sore. Jim Ramsey's talking to him now. Remember we showed him falling down the second period?
Shot by Holik went wide.
Yeah, it's really bothered him. It's tightened up and he's trying to stretch it out on the bench.
Healy making his Rangers debut, a free agent signing in the offseason.
And he doesn't want to miss a shift. He doesn't want to have to sit there and say, I can't play because I'm hurt. He's getting a chance to play. And he is uncomfortable. He's got to leave. And you know it's got to be bad for him. He's played well here, and now he's got to leave. He got twisted around and knocked down. And see Jim Ramsey talking to Bruce Lafari there. He's going to go in and try and massage. I would think he's a massage therapist, and he'll try to massage his back and work out the kinks.
Almost see him leaning from one side.
The spasms, the back spasms, the muscle spasms back there. They'll try and work them out.
3.5 minutes gone by. A little delay here. Problem with one of the panes of glass behind Marty Turco. And we want to let you know that the New York Knicks will be on MSG Network tomorrow night when they host the Milwaukee Bucks. Knicks won their first game of the season last night in Orlando. Come home to play the Bucks. Cannon Business Solutions Knicks game night at 7 o'clock. Knicks and Bucks tip off at 7:30 tomorrow night right here on MSG Network.
Glass is cracked in behind Turco. That was that big slap shot that Kovalov took high and wide, and it shattered the glass.
Let's check out our quote book tonight, brought to you by TSC Direct. Bob Nicholson, president of Hockey Canada. When we looked at the World Cup, there was only one person that I wanted to lead this team, and it's no surprise to anyone in this country that it was Wayne Gretzky, who, of course, led Canada to the Olympic gold medal last year in Salt Lake City.
They had a press conference in Toronto this morning to announce that he was going to run the team along with Steve Tambolini. Ooh, somebody just went down hard in behind the Rangers net. Anyway, one of the workers. Oof. Anyway, Steve Tambolini's there. Kevin Lowe will be part of it, and Wayne Gretzky for Canada when it comes to the World Cup, which is like an Olympics. All the best teams. He played in late August, early September. For Team USA, I'm not sure who's going to run it yet, but they're going to have their camp and all that in Columbus, Ohio. They have a great facility there where the Blue Jackets play, and that's where their headquarters are going to be. So we'll send. Canada hasn't named their coaches, and I don't think the U.S. team has yet either.
No, so, I don't think they have.
Looking forward to hearing that. As you see, Brian Leetch, he'll be on that team for sure. He'll be going to Columbus too. And by the way, while we have a second, congratulations to Pat LaFontaine, Grant Fuhr, Brian Kilray, a great junior coach, and Mike Ilitch, the owner of Detroit. All four inducted into the Hall of Fame last night.
And well deserved.
Grant Fuhr said to say thank you to Ron Lowe publicly as one of the people that he thanked. There's Grant on the right, Pat LaFontaine there. On the left is Mr. Ilitch. On the right, Brian Kilray.
And following the ceremonies last night, I saw a clip of Pat thanking the Rangers for giving him a chance to finish his career out. When he had suffered the concussions, he had a chance to come back. He didn't feel his career was over. He had a great experience here with the Rangers and ended up his career.
And he talked about how he was treated along with his family with a great deal of class, and the class of the organization and Neil Smith. He thanked Neil Smith. Neil Smith's the one that brought him to the Rangers. So it was a real, I think, real strong induction. Good people. It always brings up more questions about more names. Should Dino Ciccarelli be in there with all the goals he scored? Should Glenn Anderson be in there? He's one of the great playoff goal scorers of all time.
You're the boss.
No, I'm not. He's on the board. Glenn Sather's on the board of the of the Hall of Fame. I'm on the selection committee, but he's on one of the big cheese boards. We're just the little boards.
Eric Lindros is getting close to returning. Skated with the team this morning. Rangers certainly hope to have him back by the end of this week.
Took a full shift with the team. He was sore. I talked to him 2 days ago, and hands felt great, legs felt great, but the body contact still was a little sore. So they want to make sure. I mean, his shoulder and collarbone were accordioned right across his breastbone. I mean, that's some serious stuff that's moved that's not supposed to be moved that far. That hurts. He said his chest felt like it was in a vice. It's a serious injury and a painful one. So he's a couple of days, 3 days, who knows how many days away, but I don't think it's that far.
He's been out for 2 weeks. Yesterday was when he suffered the injury. Rangers next game Thursday night. There's a game Saturday afternoon here at the Garden against Philadelphia. And if you can't make either of those two, then you look to Monday. Next Monday, Edmonton will be here. So it's every other night for the Rangers, and they hope to have Eric Lindros back by the end of the week.
Edmonton up 4-1 in Montreal tonight. The Rangers were in Montreal the other night, 5-1 winners. Montreal's in trouble. They are a team that's small up front, not playing very well, and I sense just in watching them play and how when they went down the game, they didn't have any zip, they didn't have any life. I think that I think they're in trouble. I really do.
Set to resume. 3.5 minutes gone by in the third period. Rangers holding a 2-0 lead. Goals by Mark Messier and Matthew Barnaby in the second period. Guerin plays it ahead. It's knocked down by DeVries. Brendan Morrow had it knocked away by DeVries. Carter slides it ahead of Ruchinski. Boucher for Dallas. And now Bill Guerin. Carter with a good play to break it up. Olik and Arnott have been opposite one another virtually the entire game. First couple of shifts, Olik was opposite Modano, and then the Ranger coaching staff felt, let's take care of the Arnott, Guerin, and Brendan Morrow line. That seemed to be Dallas's best.
Yeah, Guerin's been the hot scorer in the league, but most of the scoring's been on home ice for him. In fact, all of his scoring. And of course, Jason Arnott, with all that size, you can neutralize size with size. And Bobby Holik's been in that groove in recent games. Well, that really happens. Now Modano comes on the ice, and the Rangers use Messier against him. Mark's a very experienced face-off man.
Puck played across. Chris Simon firing it out. Barnaby puts it. That pass was across 2 lines. Barnaby had been on the other side of the red line.
You know, the last face-off, Sam, in the Dallas zone, watch him win the face-off, and watch 2 forwards go up the wings above the blue line. We'll see. Face-off won by Dallas. Watch the forwards fly. There goes forwards. Now, as they set up behind the net, those 2 forwards are almost at center ice. They're trying to draw the Rangers out of the zone so they can open up ice to find a way to get out and get some offense. They need offense bad, trailing 2-0.
Puck cleared out. Barnaby and Newman go for it. Steve Ott puts it in the Ranger zone. Leach goes to get it as Messier picks off DeMaio. Messier's pass blocked by Modano. DeVries is there to help out. DeMaio works it back. Barnaby. Rangers in good position, supporting very well.
And no panic back there. Remember the panic back there? Huh?
Last year?
All year, all season.
There's been a big improvement in the goals against. That shot goes wide from last year to this year.
Well,
this is game number 11.
They're 8th in the league right now.
Great sign. Pass in front. And the Rangers able to clear the zone.
Well, Mike Dunham has a lot to do with that. And then here in a game like this, Markkanen's been good, but at the same time, the team's been good defensively.
Last year, through the first 10 games, the Rangers had given up 36 goals. This year, through the first 10 games, they've given up 22.
Oh, that's terrific. What an improvement.
Jamie Lundmark moves in on Philippe Boucher. Dropped it off. Shot by Kasparaitis way wide. And around it comes, and it's brought out by Turgeon. He's joined by Scott Young. Mironov back. Turgeon for Young. Young was checked.
Oh, what a back check.
Lundmark came back strong, and a penalty upcoming on the Rangers.
Mironov's going to go.
First power play of the game for Dallas.
Kasparaitis missed the net. The puck zinged right around the boards, and everybody was trapped, except for, I think it was Mironov. Turgeon went in hard. Oh, he's cut.
Yes.
Was that a stick or not? If it's a stick, that might be a double minor. And what a job by Lundmark on the left side coming back. Right there. Stop the play, and then the stick goes into the chin. Accidentally, but he created an injury. This may be a double minor. There's the back check on Scott Young. Wonderful back check job by Jamie Lundmark, and now the Rangers are facing some adversity. Not on purpose. Mironov went to lift the stick up, missed, and caught Turgeon on the chin. You saw the cut. It's an automatic double minor. 4-minute power play advantage as Turgeon draws it. Mironov, who's played very well. That was an accident, Sam, but you're responsible. And here we go.
And this could turn the game around. The Rangers with a 2-0 lead, but it's a 4-minute power play advantage for the Dallas Stars. Mironov 4 minutes for high sticking at 5:54. Dallas was 3 for 6 on the power play in the game on Sunday against Nashville. Long shot, saved by Markkanen. Plays it to Rucinski on the backhand. He clears. Numminen and Zubov are playing the points. Modano, Arnott, and Guerin up front. Rangers now have DeVries and Leach with Rucinski and Lundmark. Modano wide of the net, up the boards. Guerin lets it go to Zubov. Down around for Guerin. Up to Modano. Back to Numminen. Now to Modano. Numminen turns, fakes the shot, low to Modano. DeVries takes it away and clears.
Yeah, nice job there. Moore and Lundmark. How about that? Huh? The two kids out there killing the penalty.
1 minute gone by.
Paul Healy, who's injured and gone, is a terrific penalty killer, but he can't be used.
I thought Rucinski was on and not Moore.
No, that was Moore on that shift.
All right.
I think.
Zubov puts it in the New York zone. Bouchard plays it behind against Turgeon. Pops out in front. Barnes is on. Plays it back to Matvichuk. Now Zubov. Matvichuk. Zubov. Pass tipped by Holik. Holik and Carter. Bouchard and Kasparaitis on for the Rangers. Up front for Dallas. Barnes, Turgeon, and Morrow. The puck hit the Rangers bench.
And I've been told by our crack staff downstairs it was Moore that was on the ice.
You're on.
Watch DeVries with a quick stick here. Gets the puck, snares it away from Mike Modano, and forces it out of the zone. Greg DeVries is another reason the Rangers have been better defensively. That's Markkanen. And how about that little play? He didn't freeze the puck for the faceoff. He didn't freeze the puck and kept the play alive. That was Rucinski, but he had changed and Moore came on.
Oh, so I'm half right.
No. No. No.
Give it to me. Driven out of the zone by Leach. Turco reverses to Boucher.
Oh, you're something else. On your knees begging for points at trivia. Oh.
First of the 2 minors is over. Minute 55 to go on the man advantage for Dallas. 12 minutes to go, third period, 2-0 Rangers. Matvichuk, good pass. Modano in front, shot wide by Guerin. Beautiful passing by the Stars, but they couldn't finish. Kovalov for Messier, and it hit the back of his skates. Matvichuk to Modano. Back the other way. Guerin plays it. Back to Matvichuk as the Stars change a minute and a half to go on the power play. Philippe Boucher. Around the boards, Turgeon. Try to get it to Morrow. DeVries broke it up. Picked up by Morrow. Back to Boucher. Down the boards to Modano. Now it's Morrow. Back to Modano. Turgeon. To Modano and out for the long shot. Boucher. Save made by Markkanen. Kasparaitis moves it up the boards and out of the zone.
Do you have some experience out on the ice for this Dallas team? Guerin, Modano, Zubov, Turgeon. I mean, these are great offensive careers we're talking about.
Aggressive forecheck by the Rangers. Turnover at the Rangers line. Holik was the aggressive forechecker. Fans with a Let's Go Rangers chant. Rucinski moves in with the puck. Plays it back. Rangers controlling. 35 seconds to go on the Dallas power play. Malakoff moves it to Bouchard. Up the board, blocked by Numminen, but brought across the line. Offside Dallas.
So the fans respond here, talking about the terrific penalty kill to this point. 31 seconds to go. There was one big hard point shot. Look at the traffic in front. Markkanen does a good job, as does Kasparaitis and DeVries, in clearing people out of the way. 5 players who have appeared in 1,000 or more games for Dallas. Turgeon, Numminen, Young, Sweeney, Modano. That's the most of any NHL team. Wow. Detroit and Philadelphia have 4 on each of their teams.
Leach playing it up the boards and all the way down. 20 seconds to go on the Dallas power play. Newman gets away and carries. Leads Guerin. Cross corner dump in. DeVries takes a hit from Miettinen. Around the board. Zubov comes down. Anson Carter on him. They battle for the puck. Antti Miettinen moves it behind the net to Guerin. Blocked in front by Leach. Power play is over. Miettinen fires it through. Off the boards, Arnott out to Newman. Past Arnott to Guerin.
Rangers have 3 defensemen on the ice. Mironov's playing a forward position out of the penalty box.
Along the boards, Miettinen pass out of the zone. 9:45 to go in the third. Rangers with a huge penalty kill maintain a 2-0 lead. Off the stick of Miettinen, and it's cleared out by Kasparaitis. Matvichuk there to play it. Kovalov blocks it. Zubov sends it out of the zone. Kapanen was tied up by Lundmark. Steve Ott with the puck. Chipped out of the zone by Kovalov.
And Steve Ott kid works hard. That fight with Barnaby is his 6th fight this season. 6 already. Wow. Guess he likes to get at it.
Knocked down by Lundmark. Good play. Kovalov to the net. Lundmark tipped wide by Kovalov.
Lundmark didn't see Hlavich back in behind. He was wide open.
Hlavich has the puck. Kovalov had been taken down, and it's brought out by Mikko Kapanen.
It's always a good play to go to the net with the puck like Lundmark did, and he set that up by knocking the puck out of midair. Icing against Dallas.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Honey, you were so right. I listed this in less than a minute.
I told you listing on Poshmark was quick and easy.
Oh, I sold my black tote and my slip dress. Let's go get mani-pedis.
Ooh, thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Poshmark.
Want extra cash? It's easy with the Poshmark app. Download to start selling today.
Everyone has a ritual. That small thing to keep us focused. A habit we never skip. To clear our minds and elevate our performance. But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Maybe you surround yourself with positivity. Or you need to center yourself. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body. It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Lundmark with a great play, knocks the puck out of midair, goes to get it. Didn't see Hlavich by himself behind him, but he went to the net, and that's always a good play. Jamie Lundmark's been put into a more responsible position for this game, and he has been great.
Malikov with a shot that's deflected wide. Simon with a shot saved by Turco. Started with a face-off win by Messier, and Simon had a good chance in front. Bonanno fires in. 8.5 minutes to go. In the third period, Rangers leading 2-0. Messier with Bonanno hooking at him. Turco roams into the corner to play the puck.
You can do that because goalies can't be hit. Right? You can go out and play the puck all day long knowing that nobody can touch you. You're going to get a penalty.
You sound like someone that would like to see that change.
Well, I think goalies take advantage of it. I think it's changed the forecheck in hockey. It's changed the way the game's played. And I don't mean to take anything away from a good skating, puck-handling goaltender, but something's got to change.
Turgeon toward the net, blocked in front by Mironov, and a good steal by Pierre Turgeon to get it back. And he's hit and turned it over.
Bobby Holik. Yeah, what a play. And this line's been great, too. Talking about Ruchinski, Holik, and Carter. They've had an awesome game.
Good pass off the stick of Carter, knocked away. That was a good play by Matvichuk. Carter recovers around for Ruchinski. He's hit by Boucher and lost the stick. Carter broke his stick. Arnott the other way. Fires. Markkanen got his stick on the puck. Shot got through. A save by Markkanen. Rangers turn it. Ruchinski to Carter. Carter with a shot that went wide. Ruchinski keeps it alive. Works it into the corner. Carter moves in. Carter was taken down by Arnott. Dallas out with the puck. Fans wanted a call. Guerin across. Lights lead. Morrow. Saved by Markkanen. Great save by UC Markkanen to rob Brendan Morrow. 2-on-1 the other way. Carter and Lundmark. Lundmark in. Saved by Turco. Oh, fabulous goaltending on either end. 6:40 to go.
The one was a little more important. The Markkanen one would have made it 2-1 Rangers instead of 2-0 Rangers. That was fantastic. And then Turco saved the game for his team, or it would have been 3-0.
Zubov to Barnes. Fans alive with a Let's Go Rangers chant. The puck taken by Halavich. Madonna on him. Stopped him. Miettinen turns. Miettinen shoots. Save. Went off the post and is covered by Markkanen. He got enough of it. It went off the post and he covered up.
Here we are driving down the road and all of a sudden, bang! Oh! Look at that. You know what we can do now? Go to SafeLight.com. They are the experts at replacing and recalibrating windshields. If you get a crack in your windshield, there's only one choice. Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Get closer to hockey with the NHL app. Closer to the names you know and need to know.
Zibanejad scores!
Closer to all the games, all the time. Get closer to everything you love with the NHL app.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the NHL and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
Did you fudge your height and weight?
I would never lie. I can't tell you 5'10" and meet you in person. You'll realize then.
You get the Twitter trolls out there. I DM some guys.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Well, some guys were saying some stuff, and I said, hey, listen, I'll be here at this time. Let's go. My son, he's going, Dad, you can't do that.
The great thing about Ovi is that, he knows that he's creating some history.
Definitely when I do it, I feel bad about myself.
We are entertainers. These people are paying to come watch me play. Let's give them the best show we can.
Brendan Morrow strong. Watch him there. He knocks off. Lundmark's gone. Takes the pass. And Markkanen with a gigantic save. And then Miettinen on Markkanen. And it almost went in and in. Holy smokes. That was the fin on the fin. The goalpost got in the way.
Rangers control the faceoff. 6:10 to go in the third period. Third period, Dallas with 9 shots. They had the 4-minute power play advantage. Rangers only 2. Just under 6 minutes to go in the third. Rangers at 2-0 lead. Messier and Barnaby, the goal scorers. Pass intended for Modano all the way down. Mironov gets there. It's an icing on Dallas. We'll step out for a moment. 5:46 to go, third period.
Everyone has a ritual. That small thing to keep us focused. A habit we never skip. To clear our minds and elevate our performance. But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Maybe you surround yourself with positivity. Or you need to center yourself. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body. It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the NHL and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
The dentist will be right in.
Hey, I heard you're retiring soon. You excited?
Yeah, Doc, but there's so much to consider. Medicare, finances. Oh, and I lose my dental insurance.
You can get your own from Physicians Mutual. Easiest decision ever. It's real dental insurance that's real affordable. Well, I think my work here is done.
Wait, what?
Hey, I heard you're retiring soon. You excited?
Affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. One of the easiest retirement decisions you can make. For a free information kit, call now. This dental insurance helps cover over 400 procedures. Everything from cleanings and fillings to crowns and dentures. See any dentist you want with no deductibles and no annual maximum.
Well, I think my work here is done.
Wait, what?
To get your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
All of the NHL trophies are so special, and the names are all added, generation after generation.
You walk through the Great Hall and you see the silverware. It's just astonishing.
Winning the Hart Trophy is a tremendous honor.
It is considered the apex. Goalies are a special breed. You can't win without a great goalie.
One of the saves of the year.
The Lady Byng is the most misunderstood trophy.
People perceive it as being for a soft player, which is anything but the truth.
The theme throughout has been superlative excellence.
Let's take a look at the American Express check of the game. There were some hard hits early in the game. Darius Kasparaitis on Rob DeMaio.
Look at this one, too. That was Holik on Turgeon to squash that play. And now Stu Barnes matched up against Mark Messier. Stu used to be the captain of the Buffalo Sabres.
Tip deep into the Rangers zone. As Malakoff moves it around, Barnes stops it. Yetinen in the corner against Malakoff. O'Donnell's back pass. Teppo Numminen steps into it. Saved by Markkanen. Messier moves it out. 27 saves in the game for UC Markkanen. His first game as a Ranger on Madison Square Garden ice. His second of the season. Zubov drives one wide of the net. Off the ledge, bounces down. Malakoff fires it ahead. Zubov stops it. Into the corner. Mironov. Off a skate. Barnes stops it, shoots it wide. Under 5 minutes to go in the third.
Zubov playing with Numminen now instead of Sweeney, Sam. More offense from the defense for Dallas. They need goals bad.
Numminen. In deep. That's Healy back on. Good to see him back on with Moore and Lacouture. Turco comes out to play it.
Pretty interesting how a therapist that can massage players like that can work as back. At least we're assuming it was a back spasm. It's amazing how they can do that. I mean, during a game, here he is back playing. That's great stuff. Bruce the masseuse got it done.
Here's Arnott moving in on DeVries. Feeds Guerin. Saved by Markkanen. Good setup. Big shot by the big goal scorer, Billy Guerin. But Markkanen has been there. Interested in purchasing premium Rangers tickets? Introducing the newest way to find great seats to Rangers games. Now you can buy premium tickets that have been posted for sale by Rangers Club subscribers. Visit Rangers Ticket Exchange on NewYorkRangers.com today. Got to look at Bruce LaFrere, better known as Bruce the Masseuse, who did the work on Paul Healy and got him back in the game.
Those guys are busy people, training staff during hockey seasons. All day and all night, man.
John, they're the unheralded heroes of a team. Jim Ramsey, the medical trainer. Bruce LaFrere, the massage therapist. Cassio Marquez and Beats Johnson, the equipment trainers. There's Jim Ramsey, the medical trainer. Budweiser salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference. Got to look at the scores moments ago. There's Cassio Marquez, the head equipment trainer, and behind him is Beats Johnson leaning over, nervous.
That's a big 4 minutes here for the Rangers.
Takeaway by Ruchinski. He's got Carter 2-on-1. Medvedchuk back. Ruchinski to the net, and it's knocked away.
He tried to do what Barnaby did when Barnaby scored on his breakaway. Just move in and forget about the 2-on-1. But I think the puck was chipped away by a defenseman. Was it the last second?
I don't think Turco got it.
No.
That's played off the back of the net. Bounces all the way out of the zone.
That could have sealed it, though. 3:25 to go. 2-0 Rangers.
Leach with a good check on Brendan Morrow. Leach's helmet pops off. Morrow is one tough guy. We've been saying it all night. There's Leach against Morrow. A good hit by Kapanen on Holik. Holik stays there and plays the puck ahead. Stopped by DeMaio. Morrow into the corner. Kapanen checked by Holik. Newman winds it to DeMaio. DeMaio with Leach. Leach takes him down. DeMaio trying to stay with the puck. Leach staying with him. Leach and Holik in the corner. DeMaio. Puck behind the net. Steve Ott. Wraparound save by Markkanen. Bounces in front. DeMaio shoots. And pops into the air. It was swung on and missed. And Markkanen covers up.
This is some shift by the Dallas Stars. This was all hard, honest work along the backboards. Real good, solid work. The kid Ott. DeMaio was there. Kapanen was there. And the Rangers had to really battle, find the puck. Markkanen with a good save there off DeMaio, and then you can see Markkanen able to hang on. Here's Raczynski cutting across, and I think Matvichuk chipped it away as Turco was back and going down. Good play by Matvichuk, where it was game over at the time.
2:38 to go in the third. Rangers leading 2-0. Messier with a face-off win. Kasparaitis swung it around the boards. Barnaby gets it through to Simon. Messier and Barnaby with goals in the second period to give the Rangers the lead. The goal by Mark Messier giving him 1,850 career points, tying him for second all-time with Gordie Howe.
Remember, if there's an empty net, you never know. Could be Messier getting a point. You never know. If you'd like to see him get it on home ice, wouldn't you?
Yeah. We'll see if Dave Tippett makes that move. Right now down 2 goals with 2 minutes remaining as Markkanen leaves it for Bouchard around the boards. Kovalov came to the line, kept in. Kovalov brings it out. Gets to the red line, fights off the stick checks and dumps it in. Good play. 1:45 to go.
Long shift for Simon.
In deep, Markkanen. Malikov pressured by Arnott. Kovalov moves it up the boards by Matvichuk off his stick. There'll be no icing. Stars have to go back to get it. Turco waving to the bench for instructions on whether they want him to come off. Dave Tippett's got the hand up to direct him. Puck into the Rangers zone. Here goes Turco to the bench. Here's Arnott with a shot stopped by Markkanen. Net is empty for Dallas. Modano winds it around to Arnott. 6 skaters on. Peter Guerin couldn't get a shot off. He was blocked by Holik. Puck behind the net. Mironov pressured by Modano up the boards. Out to the point, under a minute to go. The shot was blocked. Another shot blocked. Scramble on. Puck is at the side of the net. A pileup of bodies, and the puck is still alive. Comes out to Boucher. Saved by Markkanen. And a penalty coming up on the wild scramble at the side of the net, and Markkanen stayed focused as Boucher had a good chance between the circles.
This was some goaltending, some battle by both teams here. Malikov over there, Holik's over there. He'll end up with a couple of players. Everybody just jamming away, and all of a sudden the puck springs loose, and Markkanen was there waiting for the Boucher shot, and he just ate it up like a Pac-Man. Look at that, right into the midsection, hangs on. And there'll be some penalty minutes coming up. It looks like Malikov's going to go for roughing. Jussi Markkanen was saved number 34. And he has been solid all game long. Malikov to the box. Turco's on the bench. So this is big time Messier for the draw. Timeout's been called, I think, by the Rangers.
Timeout is called.
You've got Messier on the ice for the draw. Now he wants to win the game, not worry about the point. That'll come in time. But it could be his time to move ahead of Gordie Howe. You never know.
Little smile on the face of Glenn Sather. Rangers have a 2-goal lead, but they will be down 2 men with the extra skater on. Following Rangers hockey, it's the MSG Sports Desk with Rangers post-game coverage. The Nets and the Houston Rockets, and Don Mattingly is JD's personal batting instructor. No, the Yankees batting instructor.
Fred Couples, who's out with a back injury right now too, by the way.
Marty Turco faced only 19 shots, 2 goals scored by the Rangers in the second period. Messier and Barnaby. 44.5 seconds remaining. Rangers leading 2-0. Power play for Dallas. They have 6 skaters on. Their net is empty. They've got Zubov and Newman.
This will be pretty good. Arnott, Messier.
Arnott, Guerin, Modano, and Morrow. Back to the point, Zubov. Now it's Modano. Firing, deflected wide, around the boards and out of the zone. Rangers have Kovalov and Messier. Kovalov pressuring Zubov. with Leach and DeVries. Arnott fires it in. Around it goes to Modano with 25 seconds. Guerin behind the net. Up the boards for Numminen. He turns. Down the boards to Guerin with 18 seconds. DeVries checks in. Brendan Morrow moves in. Now it's Guerin. Stopped by DeVries. Gets it to Kovalov. Gets out of the zone to Messier. This is it. Score! Mark Messier is number 2 all-time in scoring in NHL history. What a night. To remember at Madison Square Garden as Mark Messier has become the second leading scorer in NHL history, passing Gordie Howe. The Messier family joyous.
Fans stand, they cheer. The whole team came off the bench. Alexei Kovalov knew what was going on, and he and Messier got together. Mark made sure it was at center ice. He hit it. He looks up, and he knew. Congratulations, Mark.
He was a stride from the red line, John.
The stick on the follow-through and over, baby. That's what it's all about. That's completely okay.
Bottom line is he had great accuracy on the shot. It's a 2-goal night for the captain. And the Rangers will come up with a huge win. Fans are still standing. They haven't made a move for the exit. This one is over. Rangers win it 3-0.
And the puck goes to Jussi Markkanen. The last 4 seconds, at least he got that puck. His first shutout as a New York Ranger. The Rangers needed a big game out of Markkanen. He gave it to him. Mark Messier goes ahead of Gordie Howe. 2 of the great names ever in the world of hockey. Only Wayne Gretzky, the greatest of all, has more. And for the Messier family, there's his dad, his sister, and his mom, and man alive, what a night at Madison Square Garden.
And tonight's Oppenheimer Team Contributor Award goes to Mark Messier with 2 goals. Oppenheimer funds the right way to invest. Messier with his 6th, his 2nd of the game from Kovalov, who had 2 assists at 19:55, an empty net goal. Jussi Markkanen did not know he was going to start until a couple of hours before game time. And he got his first shutout, and Mark Messier skates around to the acknowledgement of his teammates and the crowd.
It's our love affair in this city with the Ranger fans and Mark Messier. Been some great times and some even greater times, and this is one of the greatest. This is really something special. Gordie Howe.
It's been a privilege to watch him play in New York, John. One of the greatest ever. And we will have the announcement, but Jussi Markkanen, first shutout, first time he's ever beaten the Dallas Stars in his 5th game against them, and his first shutout against them, his 6th career shutout, but a tremendous performance with 34 saves. 3 stars of the game. Matthew Barnaby gets the number 3 star.
He had a scrap and a goal, almost a complete Gordie Howe night, didn't he?
Jussi Markkanen on any other night would be the number 1 star of the game.
What a game he played.
And number 1, let's have one more ovation for the captain.
One of the classiest people I've ever met in the game of hockey, Sam, ever, anywhere.
What a night. The New York Rangers continue their strong play on home ice. Our Nextel Direct Connect plays of the game. This was Mark Messier's first goal of the game.
Kovalov with a wrist shot. Mark tips it out of midair. Ties Gordie Howe. 1,850 points. And then Kovalov knew. And hit center ice. There's the follow through of the shot in the net. Point number 8. 1-8-5-1. And only Wayne Gretzky ahead. And wow, what a career. What a feeling. Look at that.
They won a Stanley Cup together.
Just thinking the same thing. Yeah. That reminds me of the old times right there.
A great night for the Rangers.